Well, hello everyone. It's Angela with Mystic Moon, bringing you guys your Divine Masculine Confessions reading. So today's topic is going to be, I want that old flame back. So we're definitely going to focus on a Divine Masculine that you're either in a current challenge or separation with, and he's really reminiscing on the past. He is really heavily in nostalgia and memories over your connection, and he's also thinking about all the things that he wishes that he could have done differently. So if that sounds like your sort of situation here, this could be your reading this week. But obviously just take what resonates for you and get rid of anything that doesn't. So about halfway through this reading, we are going to go into some deeper, more intense kind of erotic style messages, things that I can't post over here. So if you guys are interested in joining me over on the extended reading, I'll put that link in the description box down below, as well as all the decks here that I'll be using and today's Organite, which is called the Twin Flame Pyramid, created by Michelle from Bell's Wing and Bell. So let's get into the messages, you guys. We're going to see what memories are unfolding right now in your Divine Masculine's mind. So what's just going on? What does the rumination look like? What's rolling around? What is he thinking about when it comes to you in this connection? So this particular deck, these are called the Claire Story cards 1 and 2. Let's see what he's thinking about. What goes on in this Divine Masculine's mind when he ruminates over the past? When he's heavy in nostalgia and memories? What is coming up and why? What's the current story in his head? Ooh, interesting. We have lies. Okay, so there's a couple of things that immediately come to me. Was hoping for the best. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that whatever lies were spoken, whatever betrayal went down between the two of you, that it can be repaired. But he's thinking a lot about either the lies that he told you or the betrayal that went down between the two of you. Whew, okay. But to me, it's like fingers crossed that you'll forgive me. Fingers crossed that this is repairable. Okay, so let's get another message from my Arrows of Love Oracle. Ooh, so a promise that was not kept. Okay. So this masculine may have made an agreement with you, Divine Feminine. He may have said, hey, yeah, you know what? I'll be open and honest with you. And maybe he was not. Maybe he promised you that nothing was going on, but really there was something that was happening. Maybe you confronted him about it and he had a chance to come clean and he didn't. Not sure what that was. It's going to be different for everybody, but I feel like this is heavily in the masculine's mind space right now, thinking about this lie with a promise or a commitment that he did not keep. All right. Fingers crossed, I'm getting for some of you guys that you have not moved on in another relationship or commitment. That's going to be for like maybe a few of you out there. All right. This is my Arrows of Love Tarot. Yeah, fingers crossed that we can still renew this, that there's still hope for you and I. This is Aquarius energy. Wish upon a star, right? I hope and pray that you can forgive me. I hope and pray that there's still hope for us. I hope and pray that we can renew this connection. That's what it is. It's like a shot in a million, but, you know, maybe there's still hope, right? So let's go ahead and get another. So this is in his mind right now. He's really thinking about this, and he's pretty heavy in his heart. We're seeing here hearts here and hearts on this card. So he's real heavy in his heart space. And the lies that he either told or this hope that he has that you still love him and care about him, or that you will take him back, are weighing very heavily in his heart right now. All right, let's see what else. Okay, yeah, look at this neutrality. Will you guys to be able to neutralize this energy? So I feel like you guys are back to back, meaning like, you know, you used to be facing one another. You used to be dealing with one another, but through time, you guys have lost contact. You guys have gone your own separate ways. You guys have completely different lives. And so, you know, will you guys be able to find a neutral ground to have a conversation, to even figure out if there's still hope here, if there's still a chance? So he's thinking about that. I'm also getting here, he's thinking about what you're doing now, right? Okay, we have trials of love. So what's a trial? trials and tribulations, tough times, lessons, a lot of, hard lessons here. I feel like he's thinking about the hard lessons in love and all the trials that he's gone through since you guys have been separated. So there's definitely been something heavy here when it comes to his life and the things that he's gone through since the two of you have been together. So he's thinking about that as well. Can you guys neutralize these energies? Can you learn from it? Can you guys be better people for it? Yeah, look at this. Can you guys reconcile? Can you guys have a reunion? Can you ever have a good time together again? Right? So there it is. So I feel like this masculine wants, in his headspace, he ruminates over the past, right? On the lessons and the hardships. But I feel like there's also a lot of hope that he has in his heart that you guys can still get to a good place. Maybe even just a friendship at first and then build from there. So he thinks about how to come together with you maybe and to patch things over. So this is something he's thinking about. All right, let's see what else. Step by step. Okay. So the step by step here, isn't that a song from, oh my gosh, New Kids on the Block? I don't know why that's coming to me. Step by step. Ooh, baby. It's so corny, but I don't know. It's coming through. But yes, this to me, it's like, taking baby steps, basically. Taking things step by step. This is not a, I need to rush in. I need to have this right now. It doesn't mean that the feelings are not intense, but knows that this is going to be a process. Knows that this isn't going to be a situation where he can just call you up and say, hey, meet me here, and then you're just going to come. It may be a little bit of a process here. And I feel like he's kind of thinking about what steps he's going to take in order to create this reunion. So he's thinking about that. He's also thinking about his path, and I just feel like he's had many trials. So you guys may have been separated for a while here. There could have been lots of dating and relationships in between you, for both of you, or at least for him. Just take that if it resonates. But he's thinking about all the steps that he's taken on his path and his journey. And I feel like something has come full circle here, and he is circling back to this connection with you, Divine Feminine. That's what I'm seeing here. Kind of like he's taken it's a misstep somewhere. And the misstep is where he has screwed things up with the two of you. So he's wanting to go back and take different steps. We have Eye of the Beholder. You have the beastly hands, those beastly fingers, right, obscuring the vision of that person. And I feel like what's going on here is that as he has taken steps on his journey, he has confronted his demons. He's confronted his monster. He's confronted his shadow, right? And he sees things, and he could have only saw things on his own. He couldn't have seen them because someone else told him to. He had to figure things out for himself. So he is also ruminating. Maybe that's not the right word. He is thinking about the past and all the crap that he's gone through on his journey, and how maybe he has done a lot of people dirty and done them wrong, including you, Divine Feminine. So he may want to come back and make amends with you. That could be what this is about too. Yeah, look at that. Master of Arrows. This is the King of Swords. So we have double Aquarius energy here. Some of you guys could be dealing with an Aquarius, or you're going to be perhaps hearing from this masculine in Aquarius season. So there's something here. But it does say discipline. This right here is somebody who shoots straight, tells the truth. They're using their words. They're communicating. They're taking their arrow and they're shooting them your way. So this to me is telling me that this particular Divine Masculine knows that he needs to take steps towards communication. This is not a masculine who's thinking that you're he's not waiting for you to make contact with him. He realizes that he needs to be that person to shoot a message your way, that he needs to be strong, and he needs to be that person to bring forth some kind of communication in order to break the ice and to get things back on track with you. He also knows that you're going to look at him and you're going to be very, very cautious. Okay, because there is still something that's telling you that either your masculine is a monster, or you can't trust him, or you're not going to trust whether or not he's going to be truthful with you and honest with you, that he's still battling his demons. And the step by step, it could also be that your masculine has taken steps on a recovery, done some sort of counseling or therapy, or maybe is in like a 12-step program. It doesn't have to be for, substance abuse, but it could just be for anything. Just a recovery program where he's recovered some sort of aspects of himself where he was really broken. And now that he's done that, he can see the error of his ways, and he can see the truth of the situation. So he's had to go through some pretty tough things in order to get to this point. But I feel like he's more disciplined now, and he feels like he can now take these steps. So to me, it's like working a step. And one of the steps is, making amends. And I feel like you're part of a step in his life to make amends, feminine. And so he feels guided right now to make amends with you. That's what I'm seeing here. I hope that makes sense. So Spirit's just using the 12-step recovery program to bring forth a message of wanting to make amends with you. That doesn't necessarily mean that there is a 12-step recovery program. It's just the way that the messages come to me. Spirit uses all kinds of different, ways of doing that. Wow, we have obsession. Okay. So this masculine might actually be a little obsessed with thinking about you, feminine. It might even be to a point where it's just like, oh my gosh, like I think about you so much. I just need to know, do you feel the same? You can see here someone's paying money and they're seeking, like an oracle or a tarot card reader or a psychic to basically tell them. And this could be something that the masculine has actually done. Maybe he has even gone to like a psychic just to see what he should do about the situation. Do you feel anything for him still? Would you allow him to apologize? Are you going to forgive him? So he could have even done something like that. But I feel like he thinks about you a lot, and it might be more than he's comfortable with, actually. Yeah, we have fire in my soul. So he still has a flame lit for you, and this is very interesting to me. I want that old flame back. Well, he has you in his heart space. That flame is lit in his heart space, but now he actually physically wants you back in his life. Well, how is he going to make that happen? He's going to have to be strong like the King of Swords. He is going to have to stand in his truth. He is going to have to master his words and make that happen and come towards you and make that contact, for sure. We have 8 of Hearts. This is the 8 of Cups. Departure. Okay, so he does think about how he left. He may have left you. He may have ghosted you. He may have even told you, I need some time. I need some space. He may have left your life. But I'm seeing he departed from your life, Divine Feminine. I mean, it may be one of those things where he started to kind of pull away from you. And then you were just like, okay, you know what? He's being vacant, not available. So I'm now going to take that as a hint and I'm going to go away. So it doesn't really matter who actually physically said, I'm done or walked away. But I feel like this masculine kind of packed up his heart at that time. And he's the one that went into another direction and kind of left you maybe holding on to the bag or holding on to all this stuff, right? So he's thinking a lot about how the two of you ended things. And he's thinking a lot about how he still has this fire lit in his soul for you, Divine Feminine. And that he is inspired to want to make amends with you suddenly. He feels this. Yeah, he wants to heal with you. So remember the star came up already? There's definitely this energy here about wanting to heal it with you. Really wanting to heal something here. Yeah, so that I want to renew. Is there still hope that we can heal this? He hopes there is. He hopes that you guys can heal it. And you can see here, you're sleeping, Divine Feminine, and he's awake. And he has his hand on your heart with these bandages. And he knows that he hurt you and he wants to heal you. So I feel like he's actually sending you some sort of healing energy to your heart from his, that he is sorry. And I don't know if you've picked that up, but he's sending this energy your way. So a lot of this stuff is in his mind right now. It's unfolding. And we have interference. So of course, this is kind of like my third party, or there's something in the way card. So is there something that's interfering with your healing? The interference could be this masculine sphere, this fear of facing you, this fear of bringing you his truth, this fear of that you will reject him, or it could be that there is someone else in the way. Either it's on his end or it's on your end. Please just take it if it resonates. But there's still this desire here, regardless of the circumstances, that he does want to reconcile and heal this. And he does want to send you a message. This is the Eight of Wands, movement. He wants to bring you a message. He wants to make a move on this connection. He wants to move things along in a new direction. He definitely wants something to move here because it's stagnant and it's stuck. So I feel like he's thinking in terms of how to get past this block or get past whatever this challenge is. So that way you guys can make a move on healing this, reconciling this, and seeing if there's a chance in hell that you'll forgive him or that you guys can actually move past this, whatever has happened here. So those are the messages right now. So let's continue. Now we're going to go into what does he wish he could go back and do differently with you. Let's see. What does this energy look like? What does he wish that he could go back and do differently with you? This is my Twin Flame Journey Oracle. Wow. He wishes that he could go back and say yes to you. Say yes to this connection. You know, give you green lights. I feel like he put a stop to this connection all along, however long it's been ago. He said no to it. He wasn't opening up his heart space completely to it. So he has some sort of regret that he wishes that he just would have said yes, that he wishes that he would have been ready for this connection. All right, this is my Twin Flame Journey Tarot. That. Whoa. He really feels like he missed out. There's definitely that feeling with the Four of Cups that there's a missed opportunity with you. So he feels it heavy. He feels some regret that he missed out on such a good thing. He wishes that he would have said yes to the opportunity to be with you, feminine, because he really missed out on a good thing, and he does know this. So some of you guys, if you don't think he regrets this, you're wrong. He definitely regrets his decision for whatever was going on back then. All right, this is my Divine Masculine Tarot and Ascension Journey. All right, what else does he wishes he could go back and do differently? Okay, so this High Priestess energy, the High Priestess is all about trust, trusting your intuition, right? Trusting your inner voice. I want to understand this mystery. I feel like if this masculine did not trust his heart, he didn't trust himself, he said no to this connection. Okay? You may have been a mystery to him, and he knew that there was something to uncover, but it may be that he just could not at that time, put the effort into unveiling whatever this was. And so he passed up on this opportunity. He said no to it. He may have gone in another direction. He may have just lied to himself. He may have pulled away and became very secretive, right? Secret with his feelings. Didn't tell you. Went behind your back and did things. There was that lie energy earlier, so there could have been a major betrayal here. So I just feel like one of his biggest regrets is not holding back and not saying yes to this connection and missing out on this opportunity to be with you. Because I feel like this mystery of what could have been still is something that puzzles him today, right? So he still has that flame and doesn't know why. Okay. Also, too, he wishes that he could go back differently. He wishes he could go back differently. He wishes that he could go back and do things differently. This masculine could have been very comfortable with just being by himself. He felt very safe in that energy. He felt very safe to be more of like a recluse or withdrawn or in a state of isolation. You know, it's just like, it's always been me and just me. I'm not going to let anyone in. I just rely on myself. I do my own thing. I don't do relationships, whatever the deal might have been. But he wishes that he wasn't that way. He wishes that when you guys were together at that time, that he wasn't that way. That he could have let you in. That he could have let you in. Magician. He didn't have the tools, though, at the time. He just didn't. He didn't have the tools at the time to actually do it any differently. And it's a tough thing, you know, especially when you have parents or, you know, I'm just using it as an example, who were a certain way and it was very unsatisfactory. And then you'll have someone say to you, well, they just didn't have the tools at the time to be any differently. It's not meant to make you feel better, but it is meant to kind of help you to look at the situation with a little bit of compassion and say, you can't do things that you don't know how to do. So this particular masculine, what was very sacred to him was himself, doing his own thing, relying on himself, not letting someone else in, being strong on his own. That's really all he knew. Maybe he was a survivor of some sort in some sort of life situation. And so when it came to you coming in, it was very mysterious. It was very magical. It felt very intense. But when it came down to doing the work, he just didn't have the tools to do this any differently. So he may have not used the tool of communication to be honest with you or to be straight with you. Maybe he couldn't even get in touch with his feelings at all, his own cup. So he couldn't really share it with you because he was still battling his own demons with his own cup. You see what I'm saying? So until you battle your own demons, until you heal yourself, you can't really have a good experience with another person. So I just feel like at the end of the day, this is what it boils down to, you guys. So it's not necessarily an excuse. It's just where the masculine was at. Okay. The magician can sometimes, with the high priestess, be someone who's a trickster. Okay. Somebody who's just kind of like, they're really good at faking it. They're really good at acting as though they have it together, but deep down inside, they really aren't. They're not strong at all. They put on a good front, but at the end of the day, they're really broken inside. And I feel like this is something that this masculine wishes that he would have been stronger for you, or that he would have been more healed at the time to open himself up to this connection. He just didn't have what it took to level up with you and be with you in that way. Yeah, so he really wishes that he could have been ready to open up that door and go into this next chapter with you. But I feel like he ended it. He closed the door on this one. He closed the door on you and this connection and this opportunity. So that's why it's a missed opportunity. So he wishes that he could go back and walk through that door with you, Divine Feminine. That's what he wishes. Let's see what else. Yeah, look at that. He wishes that he could have taken what you were offering to him, because really you were inviting him, right? And propositioning him to experience something really amazing. And it was very mysterious to him. Like, I want to understand this mystery, right? Something very magical, something very deep with the high priestess, something very spiritual and divine. That's what you were offering, Divine Feminine. And I just feel, you know, the magician and the high priestess can sometimes be, because they're both very magical, right? Can sometimes be counterparts. But then sometimes you'll see the high priestess and the Hierophant are counterparts. I feel like in this instance, it's like your masculine was still the magician trying to sharpen their tools and figure out who they were. and the high priestess, which is you, divine feminine. I'm not saying like you had it all together and you knew exactly who you were when you met your masculine, but you already had this like very deep spiritual understanding and knowledge about yourself that was very, it just was a little bit more fine-tuned than this masculine. So you were offering this opportunity to come in and have this spiritual experience, this spiritual love. And he felt that and he was enchanted by it. And I'm getting here, he was drawn to it. But when it came down to actually doing this, you know, instead of just talking the talk, but actually walking the walk, I feel like this is where he fell short and kind of sabotaged this. So there is regret that he wishes that he could have seen the gift that you were giving him at the time. And Knight of Cups, romantic gesture. Knight of Cups is Pisces energy. High Priestess is also Pisces energy. So the Pisces energy could be here. Pisces is Neptune. Neptune is all about dreamy, but it's also about kind of getting lost in a dream world. What's real, what's not? Is it an illusion? Is it just a fantasy? What is this? And I just feel like there was this very romantic nature at the time. This masculine definitely felt it. And whatever gestures where he was inviting you in, that was really what he wanted at the time, but something shifted. The Knight of Cups is not the King of Cups, so still trying to figure out who they are and find themselves. And we can clearly see that this particular masculine has gone through some trials of his own, okay, to find himself, and it hasn't been easy. So feminine, there could have been other situations that have really offered some insight to this masculine, that you actually were a gift. You were actually somebody that was pretty extraordinary in his life compared to what he's had since you. And this could be one of the reasons why he's looking back on it now and going, wow, I really, really blew it with someone amazing. So there's that. Yep, nothing makes sense. Two of Swords. So this masculine is quite stuck and hung up in his headspace about you, divine feminine. So what he wishes that he could go back and do differently with you is actually make a decision that he felt good about. And I feel like the decision that he made at the time, he doesn't feel good about that decision. So he's really stuck. He's really stuck on what he did, how he went out, the last impression that he left you with. He's really, really stuck on that and hung up on it. And he doesn't feel proud about it at all. He doesn't. So it really bothers him that it doesn't mean he can't come back and change it, but he might feel that way. Like, I wish I could go back and change it, but I can't. So it makes him feel stuck. So he's hung up on this thought of how he wishes he could do things differently. All right, let's get one last set. We have mirroring. I feel like someone else mirrored to him something about himself that he did not like. They reflected back to him what he was giving out, what he was dishing out. The World card can sometimes be a card of karma because it is ruled by Saturn. And Saturn is all about a heavy burden, trials, lessons. We already saw that trials of love. I do feel like there's been a karmic partner in his life that has actually helped him to see himself in the mirror, to take a really good look at himself in the mirror. So now he's reflecting on himself. He's done a lot of reflection. And I feel like one thing that he wishes that he could do differently is that he wishes he could have actually seen himself clearly at that time, which he couldn't. You know, what he was seeing, he was seeing something that he was just seeing a different version of himself, which is a different version of who he is today. But again, you can't see what you can't see. Yeah, look at that. He's had a new perspective, Hangman. This is also Pisces energy again. So this right here, he's had a new perspective, right? His perception on himself and life and love and everything. He's gained a lot of insights, not only from these trials of love that he's had throughout his journey, right? And all the steps that he's taken, but now he can clearly see you and he can clearly see where he went wrong. And that, I feel, is that burning desire now to want to reconcile with you and to make these wrongs right and to make amends. That one just fell. Okay, we have the 10 of Pentacles, which is you feel like home to me. So it's like he wants to come home now. You felt right from the very start, but somehow I lost my way. What I was seeing in you was everything that I was afraid of. I almost feel like whatever shadow work that your masculine had not done at the time, he projected a lot of his crap onto you, divine feminine, and he ran away from you because he couldn't deal with something. Okay? But he's had a change of heart. He sees things differently now. He actually sees himself for who he truly is. He's done some sort of shadow work or recovery or healing. And so you feel like home to him, and he wants to come back home. He wants to make those amends. That's how he feels now. So he wishes that, of course, he could have done it differently, but in some way he knows he couldn't have done it differently, because if he had, he wouldn't be where he's at today. So that's what we have. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the extended reading, and we're going to take a look and see what desires keep him longing for you in the night. We're also going to see what words are on his lips in the heat of those moments, and what is his plan for the two of you in the near future. So if you guys would like to join me over there, please do so. And thanks again, you guys, for choosing to watch this reading today. Take care. Bye-bye.